Welcome along to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. If you're like us, totally immersed in the game, always looking for those, those insights that make you go, then yeah, you're definitely in the right place. Our mission today, well, it's pretty straightforward. We've got this stack of recent observations, mainly from a really interesting article about the British and Irish Lions series. And we want to pull out the absolute key bits for you. We'll get into everything, some pretty controversial ref calls that got everyone talking, some amazing player conduct that really sends a message, and those tactical differences that, well, decided things. And hey, if you are as obsessed as we are and you want more like this, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession wherever you get your deep dives. Honestly, it's the best way to stay in the loop. Okay, so the main thing we're looking at today is this piece by Danny Stevens. It's called Moni, Marrow, and Toje and the Real Difference Between Wallabies and Lions. Came out July 29th, 2025. Good starting point for us.
Yeah, it's a great piece. Really gets into the Lions' final game, doesn't it? Covers the good behavior, the not so good behavior, and importantly, pinpoints who really made the difference for the Lions in the end. It's pretty balanced.
Absolutely. And talking about high stakes, the article just grabs you straight away with this idea that, an entire game, maybe even the whole series, just swung on one refereeing decision.
Mm-hmm.
It's something we see a lot in rugby, right? It mentions past examples, Sam King's red card in the World Cup final,
Right.
or that Romain Poit offside deal back in 2017. Those moments, they stick with you.
They really do. And what's fascinating is how the article zooms right in
Yeah.
on the latest one, the Jac Morgan tackle controversy.
Yeah.
It just throws out all the questions we were all asking, didn't it? Like, did Morgan actually wrap his arms? Did he make contact with the head or neck? Was he in control off his feet?
And was Tizano maybe exaggerating it a bit?
Exactly. Did he take a dive? And the thing is, the discussion gets so heated because rugby, even with this massive law book, it just has so much gray area, so much that's open to interpretation.
Right.
Which means, like the article says, nobody will ever be proven to be right. It's just impossible.
Which makes the refs, as the piece puts it so well, magnificently convenient scapegoats.
Yeah. It's easy, isn't it?
It really is when things don't go your team's way. But, okay, beyond just blaming the ref, what does that tell us about how we actually view the game?
Well, that's key because the article tackles that head on. This problem, this finding the right shade of gray for these massive series-defining calls, there's no easy answer. There just isn't.
No.
We all want black and white, clear-cut justice, but the sport itself is just fluid, ambiguous. Think about that penalty against Todd Furlong in the first test.
Yeah, the clear out to the head seemed harsh.
It did seem harsh, and the article points out if that hadn't been given, maybe the whole series swings the other way towards Australia.
Yeah.
Then the Lions would be the ones feeling hard done by.
Sure.
So it's less about the ref being wrong and more about the sheer difficulty of applying fixed rules to, to high-speed chaos.
Yeah, that makes sense. And we always focus on those huge game-swinging calls, the ones that feel decisive. But the article makes a great point. There are probably a dozen decisions like that in every match. And it shows how tough it is. Like, even if you think Morgan technically did something wrong, collisions and clearouts like that, they happen, 30-odd times a game?
At least.
Many probably don't even get a second look unless they happen right before a try that could clinch the series.
It reminds me of that time Ben O'Keefe called them rugby incidents in that Wales-Scotland game. Sometimes the call goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. The ref has to decide right there, in the moment.
Right.
And yeah, the lawmakers keep tweaking things, trying to refine it, but like the article says, it's never going to be right. It just can't be perfect.
So the real takeaway isn't about fixing the laws perfectly.
I don't think so. It's more about us as fans maybe shifting our expectations. Instead of demanding absolute right answers, maybe we need to accept that human judgment and, some ambiguity are just part of a contact sport at this level. It's about embracing the game's nature, really.
Okay, so while the refs are dealing with all that complexity, the players themselves sometimes face even bigger decisions about their careers, their health.
Yeah.
Which brings us nicely to what the article calls the good. And this is a really powerful bit about player welfare, brain injury. Such a vital conversation in rugby right now.
Hugely important.
The source highlights Ireland center, Gary Ringrose, making what it calls a statement moment. He basically decided not to take what's arguably the highest honor in the game, playing an alliance test, because he just still didn't quite feel right after a head knock. That's massive, not just for him, but as a message.
Oh, absolutely. If you look at the bigger picture, a decision like that, it's more than just commendable. It should make every player, young or old, just stop and think for a second.
Yeah.
And it should definitely give any coach who sees a player take a big head knock. Just a quick mental nudge, reminder.
Because, as the article says so bluntly, nothing is worth brain injury, not even a Lions test cap.
Exactly. But it's more than just stating the obvious truth. Ringrose's call, it kind of empowers other players, doesn't it? It says, it's okay to prioritize your health, even over this. It sets a standard, led by the players themselves, which is huge for the game's future. Really important stuff.
It really is. Okay, so from the good to, well, and the bad, according to the source. And this focuses on Maro Itoje.
Right.
Now, let's be clear. The article is very fair. It's a straight up. He's an excellent rugby player, no question.
Oh, yeah.
Made 21 tackles in that game, captain's performance, showed real grit after maybe a few errors earlier on. And it mentions him sacking that key maul around 63 minutes, even got Andy Farrell cheering. So performance-wise, top-notch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then the article brings in this contrast, doesn't it? It talks about the mental age presented to all after the first half bout of handbag.
Right.
Calls it moany adolescent behavior. And the referee, Andrea Piardi, he just tried to calm things down, told them to get on with it. Smart move, trying to de-escalate.
Yeah, but what was Itoje's reaction? The article quotes him directly, but they started it.
Yeah.
It just instantly makes you think of the playground, doesn't it? You can almost hear the teacher, I don't care who started it.
It's such a relatable moment.
Yeah.
In a funny way. The article explains, okay, maybe Will Skelton was a bit late, things were simmering, but Piardi had already spoken to Skelton. That should have knit.
Done.
But then Itoje reacts, and the source contrasts that really sharply with how Harry Wilson handled it. Wilson just says, I'll talk to my team. Professional.
And then tells the Itoje, don't be a school kid.
Exactly. Shows maturity, handles it the way you'd expect at that level.
And this is where it gets really pointed. The article describes Itoje as being the first one there, fist at Skelton's throat, escalating everything. And then later on, another stuffle, and he's right in there again, giving it the full handbags.
Yeah.
The article makes this point, which I thought was interesting. In rugby, you don't back down. That's part of the code, right?
It is.
But it says you don't squeal either.
Good line.
And Miles Harrison, the commentator, apparently summed it up perfectly on air. He just said, well, that takes you back. He started it, sir.
Brilliant. Captures it perfectly.
It really does make you think about that line, doesn't it? Between that competitive fire you absolutely need and, well, keeping your cool under pressure.
It does. How do players balance that? That sort of primal instinct not to give an inch, which you need in rugby, with staying disciplined, professional. It's all about control in those really intense moments.
Definitely makes you think. What are your thoughts on those moments? Balancing aggression and sportsmanship, we'd love to hear what you think. And remember, if you enjoy getting into these details, subscribe to Rugby Obsession wherever you're listening. It genuinely helps us keep doing these deep dives. Okay, so beyond the individuals, the big calls, the behavior, the article digs into what it argues was the real strategic difference maker in the series. The impact of the Lions bench, calls them depth charges, says this was what truly separated the teams. I mean, yes, Hugo Keenan got praise for his footwork, Itoje for his captaincy, Dan Sheehan for his whole series. But the article points somewhere else for the real difference?
And that tactical insight is spot on, I think.
Yeah.
It looks at the benches side by side. The article's pretty clear.
Right.
When Skelton and Rob Valetini went off for Australia, it basically took away their main weapons. And crucially, it says barely any of the Wallabies' replacements made a huge impact. The depth just wasn't quite there to keep that intensity up.
Whereas for the Lions, totally different story. Their bench came on and made a real tangible difference. Ellis Genge came on, shored the scrum. Blair Kinghorn added pace, injected pace. And Jac Morgan just brought all-around energy and graft. These weren't just fresh bodies, they were game changers.
Absolutely. The article nails it when it says the game began to tip when the changes were rung. And look, this isn't just about that game. It's a big note for Australia heading into the Rugby Championship and future series too.
So the Lions win wasn't just about the starting 15.
Not at all. It really highlighted a key truth in modern rugby, didn't it? To win championships now, you need that full 23-man squad. Every player on the bench has to be ready to come on and make a high-impact difference, potentially swing the momentum. They're tactical weapons.
So quite a journey then. We've gone through those debated ref calls, the huge player welfare decisions, setting new benchmarks, the nuances of player behavior under pressure, and the tactical depth that really showed the strategic side.
Yeah, and it does leave you with a question, doesn't it, for you listening? What is it that truly defines these massive rugby matches? Is it just the moments of individual skill? Is it the overall team strategy? Or is it that human drama, the passion, the frustration, the integrity we see playing out?
Or maybe all of it tangled together.
Often it is, yeah. It's this complex mix, always shifting.
So what does all this mean for you, whether you're a hardcore fan or just learning?
Well, these deep dives, they show us there's so much more going on than just the scoreline, right? There's this whole layer of human drama, strategic thinking. It's what makes the game so compelling.
Always more to uncover.
Always. We really hope this Rugby Obsession deep dive has given you some interesting stuff to think about, maybe spark a few new perspectives on the game. If you've enjoyed digging into these layers with us and you want more sharp analysis, more surprising insights, definitely hit subscribe on Rugby Obsession wherever you get your podcasts or deep dives. It's honestly the best way to keep up and get those aha moments. Thank you so much for listening to the Rugby Obsession deep dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.